What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining me today on another episode on this channel. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also ding the bell for notifications so you'll know when I put out future videos. In today's episode, let's talk about Ivan Ortega's The Last Jedi Re-Edit. He actually put out a video today announcing that the re-edit is done, and he has a link that you can actually go and watch his re-edit of The Last Jedi. I was able to watch it, and I want to give you my thoughts on it right now. So if you've seen it, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it. And now, let's jump into my thoughts on this right now. Now, right off the bat, I did enjoy that he brought back the 20th Century Fox theme. I don't remember if he actually showed the 20th Century Fox logo or not. I don't think he did. But to me, Star Wars has always felt like Star Wars when you hear the 20th Century Fox theme. And now that Disney has taken over, they don't use that anymore. So that's just something that's kind of missing from the Star Wars lore, if you ask me. But now that Disney owns Fox now, maybe we'll see in the future. Maybe they'll bring it back. But we'll have to see on that. Now, the overall picture of this movie now is that he took a horrible movie and made it watchable. I will say that much. Now, is the movie good? No, the movie is still not good to me, but he did such a great job on this film. It's actually, you can watch it and not feel the cringe that you did while watching the Rian Johnson Last Jedi cut. A lot of the cringy stuff about Rian Johnson's version, he took away. And I think the best job he did on this re-edit was with General Hux. General Hux now has he actually has now his intimidation factor back. He took out all of the bad jokes. He took out Snoke force choking him. That's gone. So he's just not a bumbling buffoon anymore. Now, he did leave in where Kylo Ren had to force choke him after Snoke was killed to establish that, hey, I'm Kylo Ren. I'm in charge of the First Order now. So he left that in, and I was okay with that because he really had to establish that Kylo Ren is in charge. Now, Luke was probably the biggest complaint about the Rian Johnson cut. Luke, he's still not Luke that we know. He is still a Luke that quit. But he does make an effort to train Rey in this. Now, this re-edit overall is, I think he cut out about 30 minutes of it. So the training scene with Rey is no longer 3 lessons. He just says, I'll train you now. And the bit training part is almost like a Rocky montage to me. And I get why he was doing that because of time. But her training is built into like a Rocky style montage, and Rocky's training for his fights. And that's the way it is. So that's pretty much her training as far as her Jedi training goes in the movie. Rey is more likable. Luke is a little bit more like Luke. And he actually used a voiceover person for Luke. And because he changed around some dialogue and everything, and I thought the voiceover was actually pretty good, if you ask me, considering what he had to go through, to get this re-edit done. Like I said, a lot of the cringe moments are gone. Holdo does not save the fleet anymore. Holdo, I still don't like her, but she is not nearly as annoying as she was in the Rian Johnson cut. One big thing you're going to notice here, and he even showed this in a trailer that he had of his re-edit, is that Admiral Akbar now lives. So we actually get to see Akbar doing something now. So basically, Akbar takes the place of Holdo, sacrificing herself. Now is Admiral Akbar sacrificing himself. Now, I guess one of the things that you're probably going to say about this, I think it's a little bit of an issue with Holdo sacrificing herself. Where is she? Because when Leia asks Holdo to board the transport, in the Rian Johnson version, Holdo stays back and she ends up sacrificing herself. That doesn't happen. So Leia says, let's board the transport, and that's it. And we never see Holdo again. So we don't know what happens to her. The assumption is that she's still alive. But I'm not going to really, ding him on that. I mean, this guy was doing all of this by himself. Ivan did everything by himself. And if you watch his video on this, he actually is trying to film a lightsaber battle of Kylo Ren and Luke, which is supposed to replace what we actually see in the Rian Johnson cut. So he left the Rian Johnson cut in there. However, Luke has his green lightsaber this time. So, but the fight, I think he still used the fight beat for beat, really. And a lot of the movie, it's amazing what a edit can do to a movie. It can completely change the feel of a movie. Just what he did, I left, when I finished watching Ivan's cut, I was like, okay, I just don't have this factor of wanting to throw up anymore watching this cut. Now, he actually used some deleted scenes from The Last Jedi. There was some more voiceovers. He actually added more scenes with Akbar in this cut, and he used a voiceover for it. You can actually tell that the footage doesn't fit right, but like I said, he has limited resources into what he can do with this cut. So Akbar's back, but there is a bit of a problem with how Akbar is back, because we know that Leia, Akbar, they get thrown out into space once the ship explodes. And there's a bit of a problem with this because you do see them fly out. You see Leia fly out, but he cut out the whole entire part of space Leia flying away back to the ship. So you don't actually get to see how she comes back. So if you never saw the Rian Johnson cut, you're probably wondering, how in the world did she survive this? How did she get back on the ship? And there isn't an explanation for that in Ivan Ortega's cut. It basically goes from her flying out in space to her on the gurney with breathing in oxygen. So it doesn't address how she got back on the ship. But I think he probably took into consideration that people had already saw the Rian Johnson cut and they know how she got back to the ship. But it was so horribly executed in the Rian Johnson cut, he didn't even need to show it. And I think that's what he was trying to do. But I still don't understand how Akbar could actually come back, actually. Well, but I guess in the Rian Johnson cut, the other lady, she announced that all the rest of them died, and that doesn't happen in his cut. So maybe Akbar wasn't actually on the bridge when the ship exploded. But I'm just thinking from the point of view of already seeing the Rian Johnson cut. But Ivan, I have to say this. This was an outstanding job by you. Your editing skills are very, very good. And it's amazing that you came out with what you came out with based on what you had to work with. You had to take an all-time horrible movie and make it watchable for people. And I think that this movie is now watchable. I don't think the movie is good. I don't think he was going to be able to make this movie good. But you can actually watch it and not just want to tear up the Last Jedi DVD anymore, or throw up, or whatever it was. He made this movie watchable, and that's all we can really ask from Ivan. I'm hoping that he'll come out with more stuff, re-edits of other things. I know he has some other plans. He plans on making the Batwoman trailer watchable. That'll be a challenge in his own, but I think Ivan's up to the challenge, and I have to give him 2 thumbs up on this. Really great job, Ivan. I'm going to leave the link to his video telling you how you can actually watch The Last Jedi Re-Edit in the description. So check out the description, click on the link to the video, watch his video, and he'll tell you how you can watch his re-edit of Star Wars The Last Jedi. So guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comments. If you're new here to the channel, please hit subscribe to catch future videos from me, and we will catch you on the next video. John Matrixx, out.